Hi, I'm Adam Lane Smith, an attachment specialist, and I got a wonderful question from one of my followers. It was a young woman who said she's a single child, she has aging parents, a little elderly, and she feels anxious all the time about losing them. She doesn't know what her life would be like without them, and it makes her very anxious. What can she do about that? I actually get this question a lot, especially from young women. Our society right now is not built to be conducive for female health. Actually, the numbers show that women are more miserable than they have ever been. A vast, vast number of women, I believe the number is something like 1/4 of all American women are on some sort of antidepressant medication or anti-anxiety medication. The numbers are astronomical. You can go check on the CDC's website. Um, the numbers are bad. The numbers are really bad. If you check any major article about female depression, the rates seem to be increasing instead of decreasing. And you would think with the progressive changes we've had in culture that would be the opposite case. It's far, 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 far worse. Women are more miserable than they have ever been at any time in recorded history as a global group. Might be different in local groups, but as a global group, women are more miserable than they have ever been in recorded history. Why is that? Why is that? Let's go back 12,000 years ago, the hunter-gatherers, because our brains are not built for modern-day therapy world where everything is wonderful and we have everything provided for us. Our brains are 12,000 years in the past. What would make us anxious 12,000 years in the past? Well, modern life is built around loneliness. Modern life is built around I'm isolated from everyone else. I'm a single child in that case. I have two parents. We have very little family structure around us. We live alone because we had to move for our job. My role is to go to school and get a degree and then build a career. And I might settle down into a relationship if I'm in my late 30s, maybe have one kid of my own. Divorce rates are really high, so I can't really trust that marriage. This marriage is going to last. Friends are hard to come by. Attachments have been breaking more and more and more. So people struggle to even make friendships, to even build romantic relationships, or even to connect with their own parents. Oftentimes, if the generations are that broken and you don't have a wide family network of cousins and aunts and uncles around you, your parents may also have attachment issues, so they won't know how to connect to you, and they don't know how to teach you the good so that you can connect. 12,000 years ago, that was death for women. Imagine you as a young woman are alone in the woods 12,000 years ago in a hunter-gatherer situation. Are you probably going to survive if a tiger comes and eats you? If you get pregnant 12,000 years ago, are you probably going to be able to feed your own child and hunt and gather and do everything on your own with no tribe around you, no protective enclosures, nothing? Are you probably going to survive? No, you're probably going to die. Even if you're not pregnant. Let's say it's just you and your parents alone in the wilderness and they're getting older and older and older. Are you going to survive? No, you're going to be alone eventually and then die. That is what our brains are telling us when we only have those connections with those two people, or even not those two people, when we're alone. The more alone you are, the more your brain thinks. Even 10,000 years ago, after the Neolithic Revolution, with agriculture and settlements, you live in a village. Your brain thinks you do. If your brain thinks you live on the outskirts of a village where the tigers are going to come eat you first and nobody's going to help you, nobody's going to take care of you if you break your leg, no one's going to help you if you get sick, no one will protect you. If you live that far outside and have no bonds with that village, you are alone, and your brain's level of anxiety skyrockets because it thinks anxiety is the only thing keeping you alive. You have to be on guard 24/7 for every minute of your life, for the rest of your life, to stay alive because you're in an extreme survival circumstance. Why would that have happened 10,000 years ago? Well, everybody would have been dead from plague, and you were the only survivor. Raiders came and killed everybody, and you managed to survive. A tiger wiped out your family. Something catastrophic happened, and now everybody is dead, and you're alone. That is what our brains think is happening as we go about our daily life in modern society, disconnected from everybody around us. Our brain says, something catastrophic happened. Everybody is dead. I am alone. And the only way to stay alive is to be anxious all the time. So the advice I gave to that female follower who asked me that question was build a village. You need a village. You need a family. Now, that is not me telling all young women to go out immediately, get married, and have 10 kids back to back. You can do that, but it's probably not the best thing to jump straight into that just so you're not alone. Probably not good, especially if you have attachment issues of your own. You're probably going to pick someone who has attachment issues. What I told that young woman was you need to build a village around yourself. Find what you do have available that is not being utilized and make those connections. Do you have cousins? Do you have aunts and uncles? Do you have any siblings available that you don't speak to? Do you have any family at all that you could deepen that relationship with? Do you have friends? Do you have other networks around you that you are not utilizing? Do you wish you were closer to your friends, but you just don't know how? Okay, that's a solvable problem. Making friends is a solvable problem. What I told that young woman was you need to essentially build a nest, build a bird nest around yourself so that you are safe and secure. And you know what? If you are feeling that alone, it is likely that other people in your environment feel alone too. Now you have two choices. One, you can change your biology to suit your environment, which is impossible. Or you can change your environment to suit your biology. If your biology says I should be in a village and have people around me who will help me and take care of me, and I can help and take care of them, and we can care for each other and build a thriving system based on love and mutual fulfillment. If that's what your biology says, then build that, because your environment probably doesn't have that right now. That's why the vast majority of young women in America who experience anxiety, that is why they experience it. It's because their brain says, I'm alone in the wilderness. No one will ever love me. I need to do anything I can to get somebody to take care of me and love me and help me. So they dive into horrible relationships. They do all kinds of horrible things to try to get any security that they can, and they hate themselves for it, but it's all they know how to do. Building those relationships, fixing your attachment, building those relationships around you will help. That builds you a village. You need to build a village. If that's a husband and kids, if that's a partner of any other kind, if that's relationships with your family, with your siblings, with friends, building a community, you don't need 500 people. From my experience, anecdotally, working in therapy, it's 3. You need 3 people that you trust will probably be alive for a while. So maybe not your aging parents, but 3 people that you trust, that accept you, that love you, that know fully who you are and accept you anyway and will not abandon you. That you cannot destroy your relationship with them on accident, that it would take a lot of hard work and that they would stop you in advance. Building a healthy, thriving relationship with good attachment. If you don't know how to do that, I've written a book on it. It's on Amazon. It's called Slaying Your Fear by Adam Lane Smith. It walks you through 100 pages or 2 hours of the audiobook of fixing that relationship. I have a ton of other resources on my website, adamlanesmith.com, here on this channel, this YouTube channel, across the web, wherever I am. I talk about attachment. It's kind of just what I do. If you fix your attachment, you can go connect to those other people. And it feels weird to go up to other people and say, I am anxious and I need to build a family network and I need to feel safe. But if you feel that way, it is likely that the people around you feel that way. And you are probably answering their prayers and solving their anxiety issues if you go up and connect to them in that way. Because if you say, I want to build a thriving family network, do you want to do that with me and be close and loving and build our lives based on good principles and care for each other and honesty? Can we build that? You are not going to find too many people who say, no, that doesn't sound very good. You are going to find people that say, please, yes. Oh, I have always wanted somebody to ask me that. Thank you so much for even asking. Let's do it. What do we do? What's the first step? Well, we read Adam Smith's book. Cool. Now that is how you do it. You build a thriving network. You build a village, even if it's 3 people. Even if it's you and 3 other people, 4 people together is a village. 4 people together can rely on each other. 4 people together can love each other and diminish all of their anxiety. 4 people. You can do that. You can do that. If it means beating your anxiety and lowering it so that you'd never deal with anxiety and depression again, female depression, through all of my work, what I have learned is that female depression is based on 2 things. Number 1, not feeling loved. And number 2, not feeling useful to the people that she loves. Both of those pieces need to be in place to be loved and to be useful to the people she loves. And that's a village. That's a family. That is you and 3 other people. To be loved by 3 people and to be useful to those 3 people. If you can do that, you can beat anxiety and depression. You can build a life. You can build a nest. You can build a village. You can build something that will mean something to you. And that will help you for life.